Okay, Denims. Have you heard about the potato head shit? I have done the minimal amount of research into it. I haven't even talked about it on stream yet. Someone just donated $10. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're going to talk about the potato head. Do you have anything you want to say before we get into it?
I talked about this a little bit. I watched the Small Dave Rubin segment.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about game toys. Toys in toy stores being segregated by gender is really dumb and stupid and harmful.
That is true.
Yeah.
You know something I noticed is that, like, all of the fucking... I swear to God, girls' toys were functionally cooler than boys' toys when I was growing up.
Were they?
Yeah, like, girls got, like, fucking little like, ovens and shit to cook stuff, which I know supports, like, certain gender roles, but, like, a lot of their toys that I would see, like, advertised on TV, like, functionally speaking, were way cooler than the ones you'd see advertised for dudes. Usually with dudes, it was, like, Nerf guns, which, cool, Nerf guns are neat, but with girls, it's like, here's a tiny pink, like, electrically motorized Jeep you can drive around in. It's a Barbie Jeep.
That shit was pop.
And it's like... Why don't guys, like, I've never seen like a military fucking Jeep type thing for boys that I've seen.
That shit
like,
was pretty pog, actually.
Yeah, like, I always thought that, like, holy shit, I wish I could have like a little fucking toy oven I could make snacks in, but none of them would come. They'd all come in pink with like little flowers and Barbies on them and shit. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like as a kid it would be cool to just be able to like have a little microwave oven.
A snack.
Yeah, just like to put snackies in. You know, God knows I would probably eaten more. Well, we went way off topic with that little rant. With that said, though, Mr. Potato Head, one of the most important, influential inventions of all time. Look at this dude. Hold on, wait. Why am I fucking...
Look at this dude.
Look at this dude. Look at this dude. He's got his mustache. He's got some pants and little shoes and all that. But Mr. Potato Head is interesting because, well... he doesn't have to be Mr. Potato Head.
Yes.
When you have a potato head toy, it's just a potato with holes in it at different areas where you can slot in different parts, right? So you've got different noses, you can have different beards, mustaches, other types of facial hair, mouths, ears, hats, arms, legs, all of that. And there are different parts that you can all put together, so you could potentially have, well, as you can see right here, I mean... you can make a female potato head. So it was really weird the brand was called Mr. Potato Head when whether or not the potato head was a Mr. or was meant to act or look like a Mr. was based on the person who built the potato head. So it was weird that the brand was just called like Mr. Potato Head. So recently, to amend this contradiction in the marketing and functionality of the toy, Hasbro decided to rebrand to just Potato Head. Now, I want to start by saying this makes way more fucking sense. Okay? There's not a universe in which it makes sense that the brand should be called Mr. Potato Head when you can... it's a blank slate.
Yes.
You know, it just doesn't make sense. However,
imagine if we had the name like Mr. Funko Pop.
Yeah. It'd be like, wait, why the fuck is it called Mr. Funko Pop? You know, there's female Funko Pops.
Also, on the package, if you buy a Mr. Potato Head from the brand Potato Head, it says right there, Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, they're keeping the name for that particular
character,
like configuration. Yeah. So it's not so much that like Mr. Potato Head is gone. It's that they're rebranding the general brand of Potato Head to just be Potato Head, not just Mr. Potato Head. So, you know, it also allows them to expand out the toys. I don't actually understand the fun in a Potato Head toy. I never had one when I was a kid. It seems like a very bland toy that would be fun for about 10 seconds after you've tried all of the configurations you can possibly implement onto this poor little Roots body. Now, the thing is, though, we don't live in a world in which there aren't maniacs that want to take basically any situation possible to push a reactionary agenda. So, of course, the people that you would predict to do this kind of shit, for example, Optimus, have made videos on it. And I presume these videos are going to be, well, I mean, look at the fucking title. What do you expect it's going to be? So, you think you're ready for this?
Sure, let's go.
You got any last words before I start this?
I don't even know this Optimus dude, but...
He's huge. He's got over 1 million subs. He's like a little bit reactionary leaning, but nothing like hardcore. He's not like a Nazi or any shit like that.
Okay, well, let's see.
All right, good luck. All right, chat. I'm here with you, okay? I'm high, but I'm still here.
Everybody, so one of the most, I'd say, critically important changes in human history has just been made to one of the most popular toys in human history as well. You guys probably know about Mr. Potato Head. I had a Mr. Potato Head as a kid as well.
I didn't.
And it's been, of course, one of the more influential toys, I would say, of all time, right?
Why
I mean,
even,
it's been
actually?
seen in pretty much every household, it seems like. I don't know that many people who've never had a Mr. Potato Head
I don't know a
before.
single
even
person
in,
who's had a
Toy
potato
Story
head.
I don't
and
know.
in other parts
It's
of
not a-
popular culture,
wait.
right? Like, it's been...
This is not like is this common conversation? Like how often does it come up that you've had that people like maybe Rubik's Cube? A Rubik's Cube is something that you could probably assume like everybody at some point has maybe had one or played with one.
Sure.
But like a potato head, it's not exactly like I can't imagine a kid asking for a Mr. Potato Head.
Can you
for
imagine going to your
Christmas.
buddy's house and instead of
You're bringing your
asking-
Xbox, you bring your
you're
Mr.
like,
Potato
I
Head.
brought the Mr. Potato Head. Like, let's rearrange our parts. It's like, it would be just... You were definitely the dweeb if you did that.
You probably got beat up by your friends.
For sure. You were shoved in a lot of lockers.
You were the friend that whenever you were all smoking weed together, they said, hey, dude, you should drink the bong water. It's the best part.
And you drank it.
And you drank it because you thought they wouldn't fuck with you. And if you don't know what friend we're talking about, you're that friend, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm actually starting to gag at the thought of drinking bong water right now. That's like the most disgusting thought I've ever had in my head. But no, like seriously. So the argument that I think he's about to make is that this is such a trivial thing to be mad about, or this is a trivial thing for them to have even done. Yet at the same time, he's going to make a video about it and is probably going to do a fair amount of complaining. So, yeah. It's about what I expect.
so influential to, you know, the toy culture and
By the way, if you have anything to say, just let me know and I can pause it.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
everything else. But Mr. Potato Head doesn't exist anymore. It's over with. Mr. Potato Head
He does.
has been canceled.
still
The folks
exists.
over at Hasbro have decided that Mr.
canceled.
Potato Head is outdated, and even though it's still a wildly successful, popular product, the
Is
whole
it even?
concept of Mr. Potato Head is no longer going to exist. As a matter of fact, they are going gender neutral. They are deciding to drop the Mr. from Potato Head, and they're just going straight ahead from now on with the name Potato Head, and that's going to be, I guess, the line of toys and everything here. According to Hasbro, the change
The funny thing is, it's not even true. Like, these people only go off of Twitter headlines, and it's not just something the
Dude.
right does.
I fucking hate when people who know nothing about a topic talk about it. Like, this dude knows nothing about marketing. He has never even bothered to, like, look at the Wikipedia article for what marketing is. Because marketing is what lets brands sell more stuff. That's it. It just lets them sell more of their stuff. When you're, for example, when Starbucks coffee came out, it was called Starbucks coffee. Everyone called it Starbucks coffee. And then they were like, oh, maybe we just everyone can start calling it just Starbucks because we want to sell these other beverages. Maybe
Yeah.
we don't want to call ourselves a coffee house. Let's stop calling ourselves a coffee house because we've become wildly popular for our frappuccinos. It's a marketing strategy. Nobody wants to keep like a name that prevents them from selling more things.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You're completely right from the marketing perspective. Obviously, like anybody who knows anything about marketing would know, we have a brand that has branched out to sell different configurations of the potato head. There's, kids, there's men, women, like all that kind of stuff. If you just stick with the brand Mr. Potato Head, you're kind of limiting yourself,
You're
and it's
just
not
missing
even
out on a
accurate.
market. You're literally just missing out on a market for no reason.
Yeah.
This has been the biggest proponent on why like video games should try and be more quote unquote inclusive or less outwardly sexist.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of women who will spend their paychecks on your game, but they don't want to spend it because all your characters suck ass. So make your characters good and you'll just make more money.
True. Make game better.
Make game better.
Game go burr.
change is being made to, I guess, appeal to a broader base of consumers and will make the popular
Jesus
toy
Christ, I
line
forgot
gender
ad
neutral
block isn't as good on this.
I mean, the world needed a gender neutral potato head toy line, right? So this
Wait,
isn't the only change.
I feel like this is nitpicky, but every single time I watch a video like this, they're always like, they thought the world needed this. And it's like,
No.
How
No one-
pretentious... Sorry, you go ahead.
I've never seen a single person who's been like, you know what we need? We need to change the name of Mr. Potato Head. No one ever has said this.
No.
Ever.
No. It's so the issue that I have is like they're painting it as though this is so trivial, you know, like Optimus voted Biden. I'm not saying that Optimus is like a Trump supporter or like I'm just saying that he's got some shitty ideas and people getting mad about this are ridiculous. Let me respond to the video, homie. Okay. My point is though, videos like this always make this argument like the world needed this. This needed to happen like in a sarcastic way. Like, no, we didn't need this. Like, nobody cares whether or not you think this was necessary. It's just a company engaging in what companies do, which is marketing. The only reason you even care about this is because it made headlines, because people who get offended about anything coming off as somewhat progressive have gotten mad about it. And you see that as an opportunity to make content off of, and that's why you're talking about it. It's ridiculous. It's nothing worth being mad at. It's just a simple brand change in a world where there wasn't this like cultural movement to push back against more progressive ideologies. This would not even be thought about for half a second. It's just a simple rebrand. Mr. Potato Head is not gone, by the way. We just looked at a new image of like the branding. You can get a Mr. Potato Head. You can also get a Mrs. Potato Head and probably a bunch of configurations thereof. They're just renaming the brand to encompass all of the products they put out in this line. Wait, okay, people are spamming me saying we need to look at Mark Dice's reaction to this. What is this? It's time for Republican states to secede? What?
This is what breaks you?
Mr. Potato Head is no longer a Mr. Hasbro, the company, even
the article is literally just wrong.
Yeah, even the articles about it have been wrong too. It's like the way to report this would be Hasbro has rebranded their Mr. Potato Head to further encompass the other products in their brand. Like that's all you would need to say.
Mr. Potato Head is still a Mr. He's not gender neutral. I don't know why people are calling this.
Yeah. Mr. Potato Head still exists. He didn't get fucking Thanos snapped. You know? Hasbro, the company that makes the potato-shaped plastic toys, giving the Spud a gender-neutral new name. They didn't, though, really. It was just the brand. Potato Head. The change will appear on boxes this year. It's time for Republican states to secede. This is hilarious from Mark Dice, because this guy's a capitalist who hates socialism, but these people are constantly getting pissed off by the decisions made by massive corporations.
Yeah. It's just silly. Is that a picture of Mark Zuckerberg?
That's a picture of Mark Zuckerberg as like a robot. I can't tell if it's him being self-aware about the fact that he talks like a fucking robot. Like, here, I can prove it to you. Oh, this is in Google Chrome, so I can't actually show it to you. Fuck.
It's okay. I'll pretend like I was there.
The dude talks like a fucking robot. He has no charisma. It's actually fucking insane.
Yeah, losing your shit about a fucking potato, and you're wrong about it too. And then being like, this is it. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. We must secede now. Okay.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
Mr. Potato Head is a racist caricature of an African American. Why is such a hateful product even sold today? Why do people feel the need to just... Jesus Christ. Look at that. 2.5k likes on that. I swear to God, Mark Dice fans are probably some of the craziest fucking people I've ever seen.
Yes.
Like, his fans, they comment on my video about him, and it's, like, unhinged as fuck. I think most of them are bot accounts or just boomers. They have to be. I refuse to accept any other fucking possibility, I swear. Okay.
Change being made to Mr. Potato Head that we'll be talking about here today. According to Hasbro here, of course, they're going to be making the Potato Head line, as it's now called, a gender-neutral toy line, but on top of that, they will apparently also be made in a more sustainable, quote-unquote, manner. As last year, they announced that their products would be made from a plant-based plastic and would have less plastic packaging, a little bit more environmentally aware and whatnot there. And so I've already got a few questions about this, right? First and foremost, are we also getting rid of Mrs. Potato Head? Because that's also been a thing. So pretty much historically, there's been Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head.
This video has how many views? 164,000. Also, there's a fundraiser going with it. What is this? Feeding America.
At least it's going somewhere worthwhile.
That's actually nice. I like that. But like, come on, dude. Like, you could have at least like you could have made a video about this and been like, hey, and talked about it. But you could have done research and like had a reasonable take, and I would have been fine with you talking about it. Like, why did you feel comfortable making this video clearly not having read anything about it? Like, this guy must have just read the Twitter headline. That's it.
Yes.
Reading more than a paragraph into it, like an article about it, would have told you Mr. Potato Head is still around. Mrs. Potato Head is still around,
When's the last time a Republican was reading something, okay?
That's true. They don't know
Not to
how
say
to
that
read.
this dude is a Republican. I don't know anything about this dude, okay?
Apparently he voted for Biden, but yeah. I mean, he's
Sorry, the better word would
kind
be non-lefty.
non-left. Yeah, non-left.
You can be a
Reactionary,
liberal.
broadly. Yeah.
You can be a liberal who doesn't read.
There's plenty of liberals and leftists that
All
don't read.
lefties, though, every single lefty I've met is either someone who is a theory dweeb or someone willing to do the bare minimum reading.
Of course, yeah. Also, theory dweebs are fucking cringe. Yeah, definitely.
To cover the two main sexes or genders or whatever, right? And
Sexes or
obviously,
genders or whatever.
Since Mr. Potato Head came
Hey, to be fair, he said the two main. To be fair, that implies there's more.
out all the way
Potentially
back in 1957. Culture has kind of changed a little bit, as you guys know. In modern society, progressivism is a lot more influential than it was maybe at the time. Gender neutrality and things like that are
Jesus Christ.
commonplace and more acceptable. I mean, when Mr. Potato Head came out, right, if you somehow time traveled back in time and you were like, hey, there's like 4 million genders and whatnot, people would look at you like you were just fucking psychotic. Like, that was just an unheard of concept at the time.
Is there anything to say about, like, that there's a 4 million genders comment?
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
Oh, it must be still be a little high.
I'm high too, but I'm just, like, listening to what's going on. I'm still stoned.
It's like, you can't trust. You're like, based, and then people go on and do this dumb gender shit. It's like, okay, dude, I see.
Isn't there, like, officially, like, 97 generally recognized genders? Isn't that?
Are there? From my understanding, the last list I saw was like a year or two ago, and it was the Canadian list. But the list was just garbage. It was like listing off, like, I think 70 genders, but a lot of them were just like repeats. Like, there was literally one that was called female to male, and then another one called FTM. And it's like, there's no difference between them.
Yeah, FTM is an
These are
acronym for that.
literally the same. Why are these listed as different genders?
Yeah, I've seen that same list.
The current lists are just trash, and like most of them are just like not even deserving to be there.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I think that, like, with this, it's just kind of... I think my issue with this is, like, this... When you bring up, like, the 4 million... It'll fix itself. When you bring up the 4 million genders thing, it feels like the idea of the joke or the comment is to specifically try to impugn more progressive people for coming up with all these whack job new genders or whatever the fuck, right? That's the impression that I get when people make the 4 million genders comment, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time, and of course that's now like pretty widespread. That's like something that people actually believe and say now and things like that. So of course, like, society has progressed, but I guess now that includes a progressing past the term Mr. Potato Head. So I'm wondering if Mr. Potato Head will also be sticking around, or if we're only dropping Mr. Potato Head.
Nope,
I mean,
Mr.
I
Potato
would
Head's
assume
still
that
here.
they're probably going to get rid of Mrs. Potato Head too,
You know
but
what I don't
I don't
understand?
really see.
What?
Was this? Does he make pre-recorded content, or is this stream content?
This is pre-recorded. It's like the Leafy style where you record some gameplay, then you just kind of rant over it.
I don't understand how people can be so wrong, like blatantly wrong in pre-recorded content. Like, you have to watch yourself. If you edit the videos, clearly he doesn't edit them. Like, you had to, like, type that up or off the cuff think of it, and then you had to, like, listen to yourself think. Like, how do you not go in and be like, wait, let me... Like, if it was me, I'd be like, okay, you know what? Like, let me just double check and read the article.
Yeah.
How?
No, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like, because with content like this, how often does he upload? He doesn't exactly, like, This isn't a guy who pores over his content all that much before uploading. Like 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago,
So
3
like
days ago.
2 or 3 a day.
Two or
Jesus.
3 videos a day. This is the video we're watching now. Apparently he's doing a fundraiser. I like that he's doing a fundraiser for a good cause. That's really nice. But I would like, even if it's something as mundane of an issue as this, like when you do these unresearched videos that are backed by like really... Also, I think that's Coach Red Pill that he's making fun of this video. Like, this guy's not even that reactionary. I feel like if I talked to this guy for 30 seconds, I could convince him that this video was irresponsible to make and he was wrong in this video.
The problem is, like, I'm pretty sure this is like the average American.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that this is exactly what the average American looks like. They're generally not in favor of things that are, like, blatantly wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, that dude probably doesn't like the fact that there are Nazis.
No,
right?
Probably not.
But he also fundamentally doesn't understand gender and has no interest in trying to learn it.
No. He's a griller.
And I would say that the majority of Americans that are not informed are exactly like that.
Yeah, and I think that, like, reactionary ideology particularly appeals to people like this because the right, in particular, kind of markets themselves off of sort of a disaffected, kind of meh, just be edgy kind of view of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually watched a Quentin Reviews video earlier, the Filthy Frank one, that I think did a really good job of summarizing that. If you guys haven't seen that, then you should watch it.
Yeah, I will say that was actually high.
That was high quality. That was very great. Wait, did I actually announce that No, I did. I announced my stream started, I remember. All right.
What's necessary about the change? Like, I don't know if it's going to be controversial to say, what about this was necessary, right? Like, am I the only one just wondering how many kids honestly...
Okay. If you find yourself... Your main argument against or for something is, or against generally, is, does this need to happen? You probably don't have a valid argument against a thing. You should be able to explain why something is harmful or bad or stupid without just saying it's unnecessary. Something being unnecessary is not an argument against something, and nothing triggers me more than hearing people fail to make an argument against something by claiming it's just unnecessary.
And for me, the biggest problem is that this is a subjective argument. Because when people will make critiques about, like, characters or media or whatever, and they'll be like, I thought this sex scene was gratuitous and just unnecessary. It didn't add anything. And they're like, so what if it was unnecessary? And it's like, okay, so this is the perfect defense for you to use whenever you want to use it, but also no one else is allowed to use it. It's so subjective.
No, absolutely. This is how they behave. Like, I really just wish they would do the fucking bare minimum of research on something and at least give me, like, a cogent argument to take apart, because there's nothing more annoying to me than whenever I boot up one of these videos and it is 10 minutes of the same argument repeated and me just having to say, like I said before, blah, 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 like over and over and over again. So it gets to the point where it's just like, I'm just going to laugh at this now.
Yep.
We're just going to laugh at this now because he's not saying anything worth critiquing because there is no argument to pull apart.
Nope.
You know?
Honestly give a fuck, right? Like, how many kids care? How many of the people, like, that's
matter.
the target audience, right? How many children genuinely fucking care about the gender of an inanimate object at that, okay?
Does he think that the marketing and success of the company is entirely decided by children caring about a marketing change?
It's not even about that. It's about the fact that, like, does he recognize that there are, like, kids are not capable of having these, like, metacognizant thoughts about, like, their purchasing.
Yeah.
You know, like if you take some business classes or whatever and you take some marketing classes, you can see, like, oh, and then they put the colorful cereal down at the bottom. So when kids walk by, the colorful cereal is in view. Mm-hmm. That's why they don't put the colorful cereal all the way at the top.
Yeah.
All the garbage cereal is at the
True.
top, right? The marketing for this is subconsciously affecting the people who are consuming the product.
Yeah, well, there's that, and that's how it can appeal to the consumer base. But there are other entities outside of the consumer base that also contribute to the success of a brand. Right? So obviously there's, shareholders behind the scenes might be saying things like, hey, listen, it's kind of hipping and hopping to be a bit more gender neutral with, like, your branding on certain things, assuming it doesn't need to be gendered. Like, you know, a Potato Head's a much more simple name, bit more recognizable. You know, it accurately depicts the content of our product. I feel like there are other entities behind the scenes in this sort of marketing world that had a lot more push in this rebrand than like, oh, we think kids will care more about it.
Kids don't give a fuck.
The kids don't give a fuck. They want the potato toy. Do you think they care? Of course not. There are other marketing reasons behind why they did this. Also, it's very possible that Hasbro knew doing this would stir up this outrage, and it would get them a ton of publicity.
Oh, super likely. I mean, I forgot all about it. Ever since Toy Story 4, I didn't think of Potato Head once.
Yeah, no, definitely. This is the first time I've thought about Potato Head since I was like maybe 8 or 9 years old. Probably. Yeah, maybe then. That was the last time I watched Toy Story.
Also, feels bad for like physical toys nowadays when you have to compete with fucking video games.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, video game. I feel like physical toys are going the way of the newspaper. Okay, all kids are just gonna be using VR and playing video games at some point. That's the future, and I like that future. All right, we want kids being raised in the internet. All right, that's the future I want to see.
It's much more understandable with like Barbie dolls and stuff like that. Like in recent years, right, Barbie and stuff like that, they've introduced like different skin tones and stuff to the dolls. There's been a lot more like boy dolls and stuff getting kind of pushed and stuff too, so it's not just like the traditional girl doll or whatever, but I can actually...
So wouldn't it make sense if you got to the point where there are so many characters in the Barbie like franchise or like brand that they decide to maybe rebrand to be more accurate to all the different characters and whatnot? It's not just Barbie anymore. It could just be like, I don't know, like some new name for it that would be recognizable and more accurate to the brand. That's basically
like
what they
if
did
suddenly
with Mr.
half
Potato
the
Head.
market or like half the toys that were being sold were Ken dolls and they were primarily being bought by like boys.
Yeah.
You might want to like consider rebranding it, right?
Yeah, like to Barbie and Ken or something.
Yeah.
Or just doll. I don't know. Maybe just call the brand
doll.
doll. Do you think they have that? I feel like they could
copyright doll.
I don't know.
Well, actually, Windows is copyrighted. Apple's copyrighted.
Yeah.
So fuck it, doll.
Doll. Doll. All right.
actually understand that, right? Like, I can understand, for instance, why, I don't know, like, a girl from Mexico might want to play with, like, a Hispanic doll, right? Or why, like, a mixed kid would want to play with, like, a mixed doll, right? I can see why that would be a thing, and, like, that would actually, like, benefit them, because they're actually adding more options without, like, crushing the branding of the object, right? But with this, I'm just not seeing it. Like, I can't envision a 4-year-old kid picking up a Mr. Potato Head and being like, Mommy, how come there isn't gender-neutral potato head?
What the fuck is with the ad block fucking up?
How come that's not a thing? Like, who's really that worried? You know what I'm saying? Since when is this a fucking concern? I don't know if I'm just at, like, beyond,
nut bagel.
I guess, normal thinking.
Nut bagel. Yeah. This reminds me of Nut Burger.
Nut Burger? Oh. God.
I doubt anybody in my chat's gonna recognize that reference. If anyone here knows what Nut Burger is from, then you're one of the good ones.
Now or whatever, but like when I was 5 years old, we weren't fucking worrying about the genders of our toys, right? Like as a guy growing up, I didn't pick up like I don't know, a Spider-Man action figure and be like, well, how come Spider-Man can't be a girl? Like that just wasn't something that ever fucking crossed our head.
Of course you didn't ask that because you grew up as a boy and you wanted the Spider-Man boy toy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, kids are gonna want. How can you? How can he in the same like 2 minutes say a Mexican girl might want a brown doll, and then also say, what if I never said I wanted a Spider Girl doll, and it's like, yeah, because you're gonna want things that you feel are similar to you.
Yeah,
that's why you never wondered whether or not there was a Spider Girl doll or an action figure or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like how people who. Like the dudes who say, I don't care about the gender or race of the character I play in a video game. Why do you guys get so mad about it towards like black people and women and stuff like that? And it's like, of course you don't get mad about it. Like 90% of the most like popular video games, the main character is typically like a somewhat muscular dude, white dude with brown hair. Like the Nathan Drake stereotype.
Do you remember how mad people were? Oh man, I remember how mad like fully grown adults were about Soldier 76 being gay.
Yeah, or that
they were
one,
so mad.
or that one comic The one that was like, that had 2 panels that reveal that Tracer is a lesbian.
Well, no one cared about Tracer being a lesbian.
They did.
Well, sorry.
One of them's in there. Look at that. They used your emote.
That's me.
That's you.
Look, I think too many people were too horny to care that much about the Tracer thing. But the soldier thing, I know. The soldier thing, though, like, so many people were mad about it. And they're like, it's not fair because he's supposed to be, like, you know, like the masculine COD character who... I'm sorry. Do you get to fuck people in COD?
True.
When has that been a feature?
There's nothing more masculine than fucking another guy's ass.
Exactly.
True.
People got so mad about Soldier being gay. There's like 1 million straight characters, presumably, in that game. It's just one.
Just one, but it's shoehorned in. That's what they were mad about.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I can't remember any kids at my age ever like caring about that kind of stuff. It
of course,
it seems
you're
like
probably
a big
like
non-issue
25.
that's getting blown up into an issue on both sides of the coin here. I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily gonna do anything for this brand or anything, but I'm just not really seeing the purpose behind it. It mostly just seems like a big PR stunt, if I'm being honest. That's what a lot of this kind of stuff really boils down to, in my opinion.
He just died.
Because like I said, I don't see how this is going to appeal to the broader market in any way. I don't see how this is going to make them sell more fucking potato heads or anything like that, right? I can understand.
So this is something I feel like a lot of people don't know about marketing. Marketing doesn't just mean you're trying to make it so that your product sells more or your brand sells whatever more of your product. There's actually a lot of value that comes from
Brand recognition.
And general outlook on your brand.
Yes. There is a whole term for this in accounting.
Really?
It's called goodwill.
Goodwill. True.
It is the excess value that a company pays to buy another company worth more than its inventory and or assets and liabilities.
Yeah.
Why do companies pay way more than what the company is actually worth? Because the company has a lot of goodwill, aka a lot of brand recognition, and all this other good shit that comes with it.
Yeah, it's like, how do you think Disney's only gain from buying the rights to Star Wars and Lucasfilms
Was to make more money? No.
was to make more? Do you think that the only gain they had was making more money? Well, at the end of the day, yes, they make more money, obviously, and even the symptoms of them buying it on top of that result in them making more money, but there are other things to gain from that benefit them, such as Disney now owns Star Wars. Star Wars, one of the most recognizable brands ever, belongs to Disney. That reflects positively on Disney in regards to, the economic scene, markets, and things like that. They own probably one of the most recognizable brands of all time. So that's something they gain from it. It's not just about, is this going to sell more potato heads? It's, is this going to generate more goodwill with the general public? And I think it will, in the sense that it kind of spreads a more progressive message. I won't deny that. But also you've got like the libs, like the lib wine moms that are going to be like, this is so based, you know? Yep. The woomers, as I like to call them.
The woomers.
Yeah. That's what that's my new, I want to make a Wojak, and it's like a slightly depressed wine mom, like sitting on the couch with some wine, watching MSNBC with like a "I'm still with her" poster in the background.
Wait,
and it's like a wine mom,
pray, love.
and it's called like a Twilight poster on the wall, stuff like that. And it's the woomer.
I don't like that the word womb is in there.
No, because it's like they're a mom, you know.
I don't know.
It's the 41-year-old
I don't
woomer.
like this. I'm wombing.
I'm wombing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Understand like the sustainability thing, right? Like, oh, let's make it with, plastic that's not going to fucking sit around for 400 years in a landfill. Let's use less plastic overall. Like, that makes sense, right? But in terms of changing the fucking gender of an inanimate...
Why does doing that make sense from a marketing perspective? They probably don't make any extra money from the fact they're using...
It's a shareholders thing.
It's a thing that makes their company look good.
Yeah.
It generates goodwill, which reflects positively on their company and their brand. It is a smart business decision. What they did in every way was a smart business decision. They will absolutely have a net benefit gain from doing this. Even if they don't sell any more dolls, the fact that this is like trending and even you are making a video about it means that people are talking about Mr. Potato Head, that reflects positively on them.
An object at that is insane to me. Like, I'm gonna keep it $1.50, bro. I don't care what people identify as, right? Like, if you were born a guy,
seem to get upset about it in your videos.
Fucking gender fluid, non-binary, whatever, right? Whatever. If that's what you want, that's what you want, bro. But like, I don't see how many people who've made that decision, right? Like, oh, I'm genderqueer, oh, I'm non-binary. I don't see many of them like playing with a Mr. Potato Head anytime soon, right? Because even when like I said, when I was like 5, I wasn't sitting here thinking about my fucking gender identity or anything like that. Like, it wasn't something important to me whatsoever.
Yeah, you're a cis dude. You're not trans.
I didn't think about my gender. Well, I thought about it a little bit, but that's because I was like a tomboy or whatever. But like, if you're cis, you're not like stressing over your gender identity when you're younger. Like,
no.
At no point when I was younger was I like, oh, am I not female? Because I'm cis.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you didn't experience this, you dumb fuck.
For the people that don't know what cis means, because it's possible a few Optimus fans might watch this. Oh, and they will. All right, they will watch this. I don't know if they'll make it this far in the video, but they will watch. Cis means not trans. It's, it probably sounds like cis, like sissy, but it actually comes from cis, C-I-S, which is a shorthand in, I think it's a type of chemistry, organic chemistry, I believe.
Isn't it like I think it's like the prefix in specific, It's
a type of compound, I think, or a type of bond.
No, it's not a compound or a bond. It's a prefix when they use to describe things that are non-changing, but I don't remember the details of it. Anyways, yeah, it's just it's assigned, like, you were assigned your gender at birth.
Yeah.
And then you were that gender for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and obviously assigned gender at birth basically means, like, you were born, your doctor looked at you, saw you have a wiener, and said, you're a boy, and you were raised as a boy because of that. Because you came out and you had a wiener, and that basically dictated most likely how you're going to be raised, including probably what kind of toys, clothes, and whatnot you're going to be bought by your parents while you're growing up. So yeah, worth keeping in mind.
I wasn't considering any of that shit. I was more worried about whether or not I was having chicken nuggets for dinner and worrying about learning my fucking alphabet tomorrow in kindergarten, right? That was kind of the deal that was going on at age 4 or 5, right? I don't see why they didn't just, like, keep the branding and just push out more items, right? Like, push out more customization for the potato head or whatever.
But wouldn't it make more sense if the brand was more neutral?
Head. And even if if your kids are, I guess, like, determining whether or not they're gender fluid and non-binary and all these other things that have been popularized and are now widely accepted, at least compared to, like, when these toys came out and whatnot, right? I don't really see how they're going to really have a big deal with that, right? Like, at the end of the day, I just don't see kids really giving a fuck about this. It seems more like a parental thing.
We already
right?
explained
like, kids
why
are
it doesn't
pretty
matter
much
what
likely to
think.
play with virtually anything you put in front of them. Like, if you've ever been around a kid, if you put any toy in front of them, it really doesn't matter, bro. The truth of the matter is you could hand a Barbie doll to most, like, 3-year-old boys, and they'd find something to do with it. They'd find something to play around with it. Yeah. Whether they throw it or fucking stare at it for 3 minutes or something, they're going to find something to do with it. So that I don't see a huge deal with that, but it just...
When I was, like, 6 years old, I found, like, this box of toys on the side of the street. I guess, like, I think what had happened was, like, the neighbor had, like, a yard sale to sell some of their kids' old toys, and, like, a bunch of them didn't sell, so they were just left in the street. And there were, like, a couple of Barbie dolls in there, and I was like, I just, like, grabbed one, and I was like, oh, shit, it has boobs.
Boobies!
And then I just, like, I took it and I, like, hid it under my bed, and I would just, like, look at it for a while.
You're like, oh,
to look at the boobie.
Dude, there was, like, this, like, naked lady on, like, some magazine or something that we had in my house. And I would just, like, look at it, and I'm like, boobies. And I was like, it was so weird, too, because I was, like, 8 or something. I didn't know what I was, like, looking at. And I saw boobies all the time because, like, my family didn't care if they were naked or whatever. Like,
but those are family boobs.
Yeah. Like,
it's not the same.
I don't know, especially if, like, you grew up in a culture where, like, nobody gives a fuck on, like public baths?
Yeah.
Like, gendered public baths, where everyone's just like, yeah, we get it. Everyone else here has boobies, too. It's not a weird thing. So, like, I saw boobies when I was a kid, it wasn't like anything new, but it was like a special pair of boobies in this magazine.
Every pair of boobs is special. You could see boobs every day, but if you have the opportunity to see new boobs, new booba, then you're going to be like, all right, I'm going to, just chill for a minute and just admire.
Yeah.
That's how it works, yeah. I think I had a similar story where, like, I guess I was like 9, okay? Like, I didn't even know what jacking off was, okay? So that's not, like, what the goal of this was. But, like, I guess I was just down bad one day. And obviously this is before I had internet or even cable. So I just, like, went to the table where we put all of the junk mail, and I knew there would be, like, magazines in there. And I was hoping I could find one that featured, like, women's bra or underwear advertisements. Just so I could look at some, like, booba.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Down fucking nuclear, okay? That is how down bad I was. I didn't, like, jack off to it or anything, but I, like, tore out, like, a page or two, and I also hid it under my bed. And one day, I was looking through my room, and the Barbie and the pages were just gone. My mom definitely found it and threw it out, and probably knew why I had it. I never brought it up to her. That's one of those memories that I have that, like, keeps me up some nights because my brain decides to remind me. But it's something that I hope to God my mom doesn't remember, but she probably does.
Yeah, probably somewhere deep in the memories there, it's there.
And she probably giggles about it from time to time. Like, remember when my dumb fuck son, like, ripped out some pages from... he had, like, a fucking Barbie under the bed that he would just, like, look at or some shit. Like, they probably think that. Like, I also have a fun... Okay, we're, like, getting way off topic, but it's still funny. I used to love taking just ridiculously long showers when I was, like, 10 to, like, 13. Because I liked hot water, just sitting in the hot water, just having it go down me. And I did not know how to jack off at that point. But my parents would multiple times say, Alex, you're taking showers that are too long. If you need to jack off, do it somewhere else. Stop wasting water. And I was just like, I didn't want to say it to them. I just said, okay. But in truth, I hadn't figured out how to jack off yet. Like, that was not what was happening. I just enjoyed just vibing in the hot water in the shower. Sometimes I would, like, the thing that I would do was I would, like, take dish soap in the shower with me, and I would rub the dish soap over, like, my lips and then blow, like, shit tons of bubbles in the shower because I thought it was fun.
Dude, I went from being a kid who just hated showers, like most kids, and then I found out what masturbating was. And then I would be taking a shower every day, if not more than one. And then my family was like, wow, you started taking a lot more showers. Because I didn't know that you could masturbate in other places. I thought you could only do it in the shower. I don't know why I thought this. Well, it was the shower head was the problem. And so I was
the problem or the solution?
It was the solution to my problems, but it was also my problem. So, like, my parents would be like, why are you taking so many showers? And I'd be like, I just really like the showers now. I, like, understand that I was stinky before. And then I found out, like, you can masturbate not in the shower. And then I stopped taking showers again. And then they were like, wow, you just don't like showers anymore? And I was like, yeah, I'm over it. It was just a thing.
I like how the instant assumption, if your kid is like a boy, is that, oh yeah, they're jacking off in the shower. But when it's a girl, it's like, oh, she must just really have just discovered how enjoyable hot showers are,
I mean, to be fair, even if I wasn't jacking off, I'd like to take hour showers.
Yeah, I do like taking long showers. I took them a lot more when I was younger, but now, like... but then I did discover how to jack off, and I did do that a lot in the shower, like, to be fair. But that was when I was 14. What I'm talking about now is, like, when I was 10. I actually didn't jack off for the first time until I was 14.
I don't even remember when
I just never tried. It was just one day when I was 14, I was like, that jacking off thing, I should probably get to that, huh? Like, I should try that. And then I did, and I was like, wow, this is going to become a daily activity for me.
Yeah.
Multi-daily, even.
Yeah.
God, yeah. I can't believe I didn't know. I can't believe I never tried this. It was like watching Death Note, I watched Death Note for the first time when I was 19 years old, and I was like, oh my God, this has always been around. I should have watched this. Or same goes for, like, Breaking Bad. Yeah. Like, God,
how have I gone this long without doing this?
Yeah, I've been told how awesome this is. I put it off for so long.
Yeah.
Jerking it in the shower is so impractical. The water causes too. Yeah, it is. It's not fun. At least as a guy, masturbating in the shower is not fun, you know? Yeah. I don't recommend it, all right? Okay, we should probably get back on topic. This is going to be a weird segment.
It seems like a very
Can't wait to see
unnecessary
the comments on the
change.
video.
Now, apparently this isn't the first time that such a change has been made to the now known as Potato Head line of toys. Apparently in 1987, the pipe, a tobacco pipe, which was an accessory for it, was actually dropped because people had concerns about tobacco.
Yeah.
Of course, that makes sense. I don't really think giving a 4-year-old kid a toy about smoking is necessarily the best thing, because obviously there's a lot of health effects to smoking. And then
Wait, so you admit that toys can have an impact on the mindset of kids, right? So maybe it's a good idea to normalize like a more, gender neutral thing in our more progressive society for kids, when we know that having toys that, if anything else, promote smoking.
Yeah.
If we agree that has a negative effect on them, then maybe normalizing gender neutral branding might have a positive effect on them. It's weird because they almost have it. They have the mind, they have the train of thought there for other issues.
Yeah.
You just need to lead them to through that same train of thought on these other issues.
Well, the
and you'll
problem
get
is
them.
the average person unironically thinks that that feminists and SJWs are coming to destroy their realm.
Yeah.
Unironically they think this.
Mm-hmm.
I have to sit down with one of my friends who she calls herself an anti-feminist. But
She's a pick-me.
But she's so cool. It's just this one thing, and it's because the internet has poisoned her brain into thinking that all feminists are actually big red.
Yeah.
I want to sit down. I'm going to visit her when COVID's over. I want to sit down with her and just watch the Red Pill movie together. And then I want her to be. I want to show her and be like, look, the red-haired lady actually is based. And it's the same thing with this, where they think it's the left boogeyman is coming to destroy all the things you love for no reason. And it's this isn't true.
And it's a preconception that's become ingrained in so many people on the internet that I find it hard to even get the time of day from people like this, because they believe that I'm part of this sort of straw man boogeyman that's been sort of created.
Yep.
And that automatically makes it so people don't necessarily want to hear your arguments.
Yeah.
To try to debunk this sort of stereotype for left-leaning people. It's annoying. It's cringe.
Yep.
It makes me cringe a lot.
Cring.
What's going on? 2 lefty streamers and 1 true. Yes, 2 lefty streamers are together, united. We're like 2 infinity stones.
No infighting for once.
No infighting, true. Yeah, well, she's a sock dem, so...
Okay.
And sock dems are nicer than leftists.
That is true. That is true.
It's completely true. Sock dems, especially sock dem Twitter, might be the kindest, most accepting community I've ever been in.
Yeah. Sockdem Twitter is pretty nice.
I've never been
Tanky
canceled.
Twitter sucks ass.
Tanky Twitter is horrible. Fucking woke school and class reductionist Twitter is awful. Leftist Twitter in general is just god awful.
It's pretty shit.
Sock dems, I don't think I've ever had a sock dem talk shit to me on Twitter.
Yeah.
Not once.
Sockdems are based.
Not a single time.
Mm-hmm.
Sock dems are so fucking inviting and nice. Obviously against reactionaries, that's one thing, but
the only sockdems I disavow are the ones who unironically are but capitalism is good.
Yeah.
I disavow those.
Yeah. Like the Destiny Orbiter types, yeah. What about DGGers? We're not talking about omni-liberals here. We're talking about sock dems. Come on.
True.
Chill.
1992, they rewrote the backstory to the Potato Head to embrace a more active lifestyle, and it lost references to things like, quote, couch potatoes. So,
nice.
Both non-significant in all reality, right? At least not as significant.
You know why nobody got mad about this back then? Because Gamergate and this weird cultural movement online hadn't happened yet. Nobody cared.
This is back before reactionary Twitter and YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about this with Avatar. If Avatar existed today, there'd be so many people mad about it.
Same thing with Lord of the Rings. You're going to see a scene.
So many people mad about it.
You're going to see a scene in Return of the King, the 3rd movie, that you're going to be like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
If this came out today, oh my god, the videos. Sock dem titties at Xander Hall? Sock dem titties are nice. All titties are nice, but yeah. Sock dem titties are just like the sock dems, very nice. I'm from Belgium, and growing up, I never thought/heard of feminism as anything negative. It's something everyone just thought was important and good. I was the same way. The problem is the internet and just general, pop culture kind of leads you into, a very different view of them. Have you seen that 70s show?
I've seen a couple episodes.
The main characters, Eric and Donna?
Yeah.
So there's an episode where Donna ends up getting involved with, a bunch of feminists, and Eric ends up going to talk to her, and he goes to kiss her, and I think like something happens where her hair gets stuck on him. I think he was wearing something like funny. I don't remember exactly the details, but like her hair gets like stuck on him in some way, and it makes sense in like the context.
Okay.
And he's like trying to pull away, but he's like pulling her hair, and it hurts, and she's like, "Ah, damn it, stop!" And then the feminist that she was marching with earlier, because they'd like gone over to a bench, see this and think he's assaulting her, and then beat him up, take his clothes, write pig on him, and like other like anti-men slur shit, whatever. And then he goes home butt naked with nothing but like a sign that says men are pigs and then pig written over his head. And his parents ask, "What happened to you?" And he says, "I got beat up by a mob of feminists." And this is a show that came out in like the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
You know, so like even things like that before the internet and Gamergate and whatnot kind of contributed to this idea that like feminists are like ball-busting maniacs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the idea that, like, feminists are all misandrous has been going on since the suffrage movement.
Yeah, because that's the main argument against any, like, sort of progressive political movement. The counter-argument isn't an actual counter-argument to what they believe. Like, it's not, no, you guys don't deserve equality, because you can't say that. It sounds really bad. It's, you guys aren't fighting for equality. You're fighting to be better for us, or better than us. You're trying to fight to have more rights than us, or to take away our rights. It's, you know, it's always been the argument, because you can't just argue against the idea of equality.
Yep.
You know, are you going to do a watch live for the new WandaVision episode on the 5th with some catch up on those still on episode 7 or earlier? We're probably not going to rewatch every episode up until 8. But I am obviously doing a watch party of the final episode. I've done one for the last few episodes live in my Discord, and I'll stream it from my Discord. Everyone will be able to join and watch it with us. Absolutely. Super excited. You probably haven't seen WandaVision yet, have you?
I haven't been interested in it.
It's so fucking good.
Like, I really like the dude.
Mm-hmm. Vision?
Yeah, Vision got me a little horny when I watched the Marvel movie. I still haven't even... Sorry, in the Thanos chapter, there's 2 movies. Which one is first?
It's Infinity War, and that's the one that Vision was actually in, because, yeah.
I only watched that one. I haven't watched the one where Tony Stark gets, sauced on.
Thanks for the spoilers to my entire chat.
That movie has come out,
yeah, that's true, yeah.
a year or two ago.
Tony Stark dies, Iron Man dies. Watch the movie, motherfuckers.
I'm sorry. But yeah, he did something different to me. But I don't know. I have a lot of other things I want to watch first.
Yeah. I get that. WandaVision's just it's a mystery show, and it's really good.
Okay.
And I think my theory is so far that the Marvel Universe's version of the devil is behind everything.
Okay.
It makes sense. It's a theory that makes sense. When Breaking Bad's under haul, we'll watch more Breaking Bad soon. I've got a guest over, okay? I'm not doing Discord calls with people when I've got an IRL friend here that I can talk to and hang out with.
That is true.
Yeah, this motherfucker thinks it's Nightmare. It could be Nightmare. I think it'll be Nightmare and Mephisto kind of put together, so it'll be like sort of a mix, you know, of 2 like evil demon characters. We'll see. All right, let's watch.
And it's changing the entire branding. Now, I know people are also going to lose their fucking minds about this, right? Like, people are going to be legitimately distraught that they took Mr. out of the Mr. Potato Head, right? I don't think that this is a world-ending issue, right? Like, I don't think this even is something that should have even really been announced. I don't see why it's that big of a fucking deal. And actually, I do like, see why.
It's a
because,
rebrand.
once again, it's a marketing stunt. Do you think these toy companies and shit really care about marginalized
No,
people?
they don't.
They don't!
The folks over at Mr. Potato Head were thinking...
Wait, if you think they don't care about making the world, like, making... what is their goal, then? What are they trying to do? What is their... Why did they do it, then?
Yeah, it feels bad, dude.
What is... He's going in circles!
Yeah.
What is the goal, then? What was their motivation to do this?
A, we need more diversity and representation in this toy. The children need to grow up understanding that it's okay to be themselves.
That fucking... Did you see that?
What's that?
Just follow my mouse.
The children need to grow up understanding that it's okay to be themselves.
Fucking dab.
Or do you think that a bunch of old rich fucks sitting at a big table in a conference room were like, hey, you guys seen all this, like, all this stuff going on social media? These kids nowadays? They're changing their genders, you know, they're accepting of people. What's the best way that we can market our toys to the future, right, to these kids? And this was, like, one of the ideas that came out, okay? It's simply...
Wait, so now he is saying that it's supposed to appeal to, like, progressive kids?
This dude's video is all over the place.
I know, but he had to pad it out for the 10 minutes, and he had to cover the topic because it was spicy and new at the time. Jesus Christ. Kill me, please, in a video game. I want to talk to this guy. 5 minutes, and I could change this dude's mind.
Yeah.
Less than 5 minutes, I could do it.
Yeah, this is like... Yeah.
Just-
I could fucking... I'm not even a debate, bro. I could talk to this dude. This is like... This is so fundamentally...
He's like the white moderate thing.
Yeah.
He's like definition of white moderate, you know? Like, he's not anti-progressivism. He
No.
just doesn't understand this shit.
And hasn't bothered looking into it.
And just hasn't bothered looking into it very
Yeah.
much. I just wish I could talk to him for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I could get him to turn on this issue completely. I could make him recognize like the incongruity of his arguments and his entire thought process on this, and he would be like, oh yeah, I hadn't thought about it that way. And he'd probably be like, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
It wouldn't be a big deal. 100%.
Done to make you think that like this company gives a fuck about people when they only care if they're profiting, okay? They only care
it's
if
companies.
this is going to spike the sales. And if this doesn't spike the sales, I almost predict that they would go back to the Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head naming, okay?
Yeah, maybe.
Because once again, this isn't about, you know, making anything better for anybody or teaching any lessons. It's about making money. It's about jumping on something that they see as a trend and finding a way to run away with it.
Cool.
So, honestly, I think it's a stupid fucking choice that doesn't really matter whatsoever, and I don't see why it's even becoming such big news. Like,
Why
just
do you make a
push
video
out
on
more
it then?
accessories for the toys, dude. Like,
The reason why it's become big news is because people like you are doing what you're doing right now, making videos about it, talking about it. That's why it's become such big news. It's the Streisand effect. That's the name of it, right? Streisand effect?
Is it?
I think so. I don't know. I'm high as fuck right now. Like, I have no fucking idea what I'm saying. But like, yeah, no, it's the idea that like people talking about it is what generates the talk about it. It being talked about in media and becoming news.
Like, who really cares? I don't know if people are
You
gonna
do. You made a
boycott
video about
Potato
it.
Head toys now or whatever. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new.
Did you enjoy? Do you think we should leave a like and subscribe?
I don't think we should. That's not what the Streisand effect is.
No, it's not. Wait, what is the Streisand effect?
Trying to hide, remove, or censor information causes further publication.
Huh.
So, like, what would be a good example? I don't know. This is... I can't think of a... Yeah, it's about removing stuff. I'm trying to think of a good example.
Well, we're both stoned, so
Yeah.
you know you'll have to give us the leeway on that.
Which is different from like
Signal boosting it in every way.
This would be like a more of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, why do people keep talking about this? Okay, well, you making this video is going to cause people to start talking about it more than it should be.
That's true. Self-fulfilling prophecy is a better way to describe this. 100%. I agree. Alrighty, that was fun. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon so you get notified when I go live and upload and whatnot. If you want to donate to me to help me continue doing this as my job, I would really appreciate it. You can donate on my website. You can also subscribe. Gift other people subscriptions to get rid of the scourge of the white names. Hit the join button to become a member. Super chat. Sub to me on Patreon. Whatever you want to do. If you can afford to. I do appreciate monetary support. It helps. And yeah, thank you for watching.